Hey guys, welcome to Cape and Cowl Cafe. I'm Nemo, and today we're going to be going over your guys' Marvel hot takes. If you guys enjoy the video at any point today, I'd really appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe button, but let's hop right in. Alright, first take of the day. In my opinion, the Ultimate Spider-Man TV show is overhated. It's genuinely a good show, and it just sucks that Spectacular Spider-Man was canceled because of it. Now, Ultimate Spider-Man is by no means my favorite Spider-Man show, not even in the top 3. I don't think it's that bad, it's an unoffensive children's show. That's what it's supposed to be. And if anything, it kind of reminds me of Batman the Brave and the Bold with all the team ups. Spider-Man is constantly teaming up with countless characters from across the Marvel universe, and it's a good introduction to those characters, I think that's a good thing. So while I think Drake Bell is super annoying, I don't like his voice, and some of the humor just doesn't really land, it's a kid Spider-Man show, it's not that bad. And yeah, it does suck that Spectacular got canceled because of this, with the Disney merger, but it is what it is. Okay, next up, Christian says, we should get some animated movie adaptations of iconic comics like DC did. Yeah, I agree, totally. And I mean, this is one area where DC has always been wiping the floor with Marvel. They just have always been putting out so many animated movies, and while not every single one of them has been top tier, I think they've been pretty consistent with being average to pretty good. But I mean, there are so many good Marvel stories that we could be pulling from for animated movies. We're just not. We have a few. We have Planet Hulk and the Ultimates and Young Avengers and a few others, but we could be doing a lot more. How many animated Spider-Man movies are there? I can't really think of any. And there are so many stories that we could be pulling from, like Kraven's Last Hunt, The Death of Gwen Stacy, Secret Wars. We could be pulling from, we have Planet Hulk. Why not do a World War Hulk movie? That would be awesome. The thing that really just baffles me about this is the lack of Spider-Man animated movies. I can understand them not wanting to make a bunch of X-Men movies or Avengers movies, but Spider-Man is the most popular superhero in the world. Why are you not taking advantage of that and just putting out tons of animated movies? There are so many storylines that you could be adapting. What the hell? What's going on? But the funny thing is DC refuses to quit. Their latest animated universe, the Tomorrowverse or whatever people were calling it, that just ended. But they're still going. DC's coming out with a 2-part Nightfall movie. Come on. Is it that hard? Just put more movies out. You have the money, Disney. What are you doing? Instead, you just keep putting out these mid-ass Marvel shows. Come on. Alright, next up, Brett the Best 3978 says, Marvel Comics should have a full reboot like Crisis. Yeah, this is something that could be really good for Marvel Comics. DC's Crisis event just kind of streamlined the timeline. It cut out some of the clutter, made everything nicer to look at, and all of these characters' histories were still intact, just everything was refreshed, if that makes sense. But even if something like this happened in Marvel Comics, I don't really care, I would trade it all if they would just fix Spider-Man. Because the rest of the Marvel Universe may not get retconned that often, but Spider-Man does, over and over and over again. Nothing has been right since One More Day. I know, that was forever ago, we should just move on and shut up about One More Day, but come on, okay? Is Peter not allowed to grow up and progress and have a life and just do things differently? No matter what he does, he will always be sent back to the Shadow Realm of being broke, single, and living with Aunt May. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what they do in all of these runs and storylines, because we know that everything will just go back to the way it was. There's no point. Just let him get married, let him have kids, let one of his children take over as the new Spider-Man. Come on. It's what we all want. And it's not too late to fix this, alright? Just let Peter and MJ magically somehow remember their life before One More Day, and then they can just move on, okay? You don't have to erase the last 10 years of Spider-Man comics, just let them remember and let them patch things up, please. I personally really love Richard Parker from the Ultimate Universe. Why don't we bring him into the main universe, speed things up a little bit, maybe he can take over as the new Spider-Man. That would be really interesting. Also, where the hell is Mayday Parker? What are we doing here? Or if you were just hell-bent on him not being with MJ, just forget about her then. We are so sick of this back and forth, this will they, won't they. It's been going on for decades, okay? Just have him be with MJ or have him be alone. Just choose something, please. They're just dangling this marriage above our heads oh, but look, now she's with Paul. Oh no, things aren't gonna work out between them. I don't care. Just choose something, you Alright, next up, Blessed by Rick says, my Marvel hot take. I think that Marvel should have done an Avengers movie before Doomsday, like Secret Invasion could have been an Avengers level type movie. I mainly say this because heading into Doomsday, there is no real team or lineup. Yeah, I agree with this. I mean, obviously, they needed to do something different after Endgame, and I think Secret Invasion could have been a really good Avengers movie, especially if the Skrulls were like, infiltrating the team, like they were kind of teeing up, and there was a bunch of betrayal and all these twists and stuff, but no, they just turned it into some boring-ass Marvel show on Disney+. I don't know, like, I just don't care about Doomsday. I know that it's most likely just going to be a bunch of cameos and nostalgia bait, so like, it just all seems so underwhelming to me. That's why I haven't really talked about it on this channel. I just don't care. Alright, next up, Ruben Thorne says, in the MCU, Captain America and Black Widow should have been a couple, not Hulk and Black Widow. Yeah, I mean, what the hell was that? Like, I was watching The Winter Soldier, and the whole time I was like, oh yeah, okay, they're kind of teeing up a relationship here. That could be really interesting. And they have great chemistry. And then in Age of Ultron, out of nowhere, they have this whole Bruce Banner-Natasha subplot that just makes no sense, and they have no chemistry. I do not believe that these two characters would be attracted to each other. It makes no sense. We all hated it. No. Better yet, I mean, you could just pull from the comics and like have Black Widow have some kind of romantic entanglement with Bucky. Like, that would be even more interesting because they're both brainwashed super soldiers. Anything but this, please. Alright, next up, Lizzie Vento says, Marvel should do a full reboot after Secret Wars. Not just a soft reboot, I'm talking like a full reset because the current MCU is too far gone to be saved, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, the MCU has been around since 2008. It has been a long time. I think it's time for something new. Plus, a lot of these actors are aging out of the roles. And like, I don't even care if they reboot Spider-Man, We've had Tom Holland as Spider-Man since 2016. It's been long enough. We can have someone new if we want. Also, I made a video about my pitch for a Spider-Man reboot. You should go watch it. It's pretty good. Now, if they were to do this reboot, we don't need to see everyone's origins again. We could just get settled into a new universe, just kind of throw us in wherever. But recast all the characters, It's definitely time for a change. Alright, next up, Nifty Cringe Guy 5431 says, Tom Holland Spider-Man after Homecoming feels like a shallow rendition of the character that molds into whatever the writers of each movie want him to be instead of a consistent Spider-Man/Peter to be invested in. Yes, I 100% agree with this, and this is the reason why I only really like Spider-Man Homecoming out of all the MCU Spider-Man movies. That movie set him up with a really good character arc. He finished off the movie rejecting the Iron Spider suit, rejecting the invitation to join the Avengers, and he was just like, no, I'm gonna keep being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, I'm gonna look out for the little guy. That was a great ending, and it really set up the next movie perfectly. And then in Infinity War, they're like, nah, he's gonna be the Iron Spider, he's gonna join the Avengers, go to space, all that. They just erased all that hard work, And then all the other Spider-Man movies just ignore it too, so what's the point? He's just too different in every single installment. It's really hard to get invested in him as a character. Okay, next up, The Fishman 1969 says, Black Panther is one of the most well-rounded characters in Marvel. He works anywhere from street tier to a cosmic, science-based adventure. He fits in a magical story as well as a science one, and he's genuinely one of the most badass Marvel characters ever. Yeah, honestly, it's crazy how many different kinds of stories Black Panther can fit into. Like, he is a very versatile character. Like, they have all the magic stuff going on with their ancestors and the spirit plane, all the Lion King stuff. And then, Wakanda is the most scientifically advanced race on the planet. And then, like, in some comics, they've gone cosmic before, and there's all this space stuff happening. It's crazy. Like, I was just reading the JMS Spider-Man run, and Spider-Man finds out that he's dying. So he goes to Wakanda, Black Panther's trying to cure him, he's got him hooked up to a machine, and then in the middle of all these scientific-based tests, he's like, hey, you want to eat this magic herb? This might cure you. It's like, what? You were just testing his DNA, and now you're giving him a magic plant. Like, that's just crazy. Black Panther's so cool. Alright, next up, Adam X78 says, hot take, I hate how in Marvel, barely anybody has a secret identity. Yeah, like the only ones I could really think of are Spider-Man and Daredevil, and if anything, all the other heroes having public identities makes these two more special. Like, in the Civil War event when Spider-Man unmasks in front of the world, it wouldn't have been such a huge deal if there were also hundreds of other heroes unmasking, but no, most of them are already public, it was just him. So I think it makes him a little more special, Alright, next up, Thomas says, Marvel/Disney needs to stop spending hundreds and millions of dollars on movies and make more lower budget films that don't need to make $1 billion to be profitable. Yes, agreed, 100%. It's just crazy. Like, I don't think all of these movies need those kind of budgets. Plus, I think Hollywood just launders money anyway, but that's a theory for another day. But when I see a movie having such a huge, overinflated budget, like hundreds of millions of dollars, all it tells me is that you don't have the talent to make this movie good, and you're just throwing money at it, hoping that you get a good product at the end. Newsflash, you won't. Your movie's still gonna be crap, no matter how much money you throw at it, alright? Now, I understand the desire to go bigger and better with each movie, but you don't really need to do that financially. If anything, these movies should be getting cheaper with each installment. I mean, you can reuse different costumes and set pieces and lots and all these different assets, but no, they keep getting more and more expensive, and it makes no sense. Just lower the budgets, focus more on talent, maybe get more creative with the marketing so you're not paying Meta like $1 million a day for their ads. Just be more fiscal. Live life like the rest of us. Alright, next up, Bronco5591 says, MCU Iron Man should have ended at Iron Man 3. Avengers 2 and Civil War, he causes more harm than good. And when he has the Infinity Stones that can do anything, he chooses genocide. Okay, like, I think using the term genocide is a little harsh. I mean, the Avengers kill people all the time, and we cheer them on. But Iron Man uses the Infinity Gauntlet to wipe out an entire army of evil aliens under the control of Thanos, and now you have a problem? Come on. Now, I love Iron Man 3. I am not a hater of that movie. I know a lot of people are, but I love it. But I also don't think the Iron Man story should have ended after that movie. There was a lot of good character progression that happened after that movie. You just want to erase that? Okay, next up, Anything Center says, Hawkeye's new look with the sunglasses is worse than his big cowl. Yeah, that look is so boring, and it's obviously inspired by Jeremy Renner, which is just more proof that MCU brand synergy ruins everything it touches. The purple outfit is silly, but it also looks sick, and he's a comic book character. Like, who cares? But like, I just find it to be so pathetic when comic books are afraid of themselves and they have to modernize everything to fit in with what the movies are doing. Otherwise, the general audience will think they're too silly. It's just lame. Like, grow some balls. Come on. All right, next take. Hobie Brown needs more attention as the Prowler, whether he's a villain or anti-hero. No hate to Aaron Davis's version. Yeah, I don't think this is ever happening, at least not in any meaningful way outside of the comics. Aaron Davis's Prowler is just way too popular and way too important to Miles' character, and he's super popular, so why would they confuse the general audience and bring in this other Prowler? It doesn't really make sense. I would love to see it. I like Hobie Brown's Prowler, but it's never gonna happen, and it's because the great MCU brand synergy gods won't allow it, and only because they're under the command of their god, the casual moviegoer. Alright, next up, Joel Clark says, this probably isn't a super hot take, but right now in comics, DC is absolutely kicking Marvel's ass and taking their lunch money. It's bad. This shouldn't be a debate, and I really hope it's not, because obviously DC is cooking Marvel in comic books right now. I mean, we have DCKO, the current Batman run, we got the Absolute Universe. The only thing that Marvel has right now that's really popular is the Ultimate Universe, and they're ending it already. Like, going out with a whimper, I guess. Next up, we got Perry7595, and they say, I really like Iron Man 3. I know the plot twist isn't great since it underutilizes his greatest comic book antagonist, but we get to see that Tony is more than just Iron Man, making gadgets in the shed, improvising to take down the bad guys, and overall, he gets the most character development in this movie, between his relationship with Pepper, the kid, his past, and who he wants to be going forward. Like I said before, I really like this movie. I know a lot of people hate it, but I love it. That might be a hot take, but I don't care. Iron Man 3 is just so good, and it does so many good things for Tony's character. Plus, the best thing about this movie is it debunks this stupid-ass scene from Ironheart.
And he contributed immensely to the field, so I won't roast Tony Stark off rip. But I don't have $1 billion.
Now, a lot of people might use this scene as like some kind of sick burn comeback.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave! With a box of scraps!
But this movie actually works way better as a rebuttal. Tony Stark is just so smart in this movie. He is able to take down an entire base of enemies with a shopping cart from Home Depot. Like, you know, he's the GOAT. Plus, come on, like I know it's a hype aura moment, but having all of the Iron Man suits fly in for the final battle, come on, that's just epic, you have to admit it. Alright, now this next person dropped a bunch of hot takes, but I'm just gonna focus on one. Cause what the hell? Prime Animation 3000 says, don't kill Gwen Stacy and give Gwen Norman aka Green Goblin babies. Now that is a hot take. Obviously, he is referencing the Sins Past arc from the JMS run of Spider-Man. Like, whoa, like that came out of nowhere. I was reading that arc and this crap happened and I was like, wait, whoa. Like, I thought I was missing pages in the book. I had to figure out if that's actually what was happening. Comes out of nowhere. Anyways, what happens is Peter starts receiving letters from Gwen years after her death. Like, he's already married to MJ at this point. And he's trying to figure out where they're coming from, and he eventually finds out that Gwen's children are involved. Now, these children are the result of an affair between Norman Osborn and Gwen Stacy. And because Norman Osborn had the Green Goblin serum, the children had hyper-accelerated aging, and so they're now adults. It's later revealed that Norman had been brainwashing the kids their entire lives, and now they hate Spider-Man and think that he's responsible for their mother's death. Just complete insanity. Also, MJ knew about this the whole time and she didn't tell Peter? Like, it was just the weirdest story. Okay, so let me get this straight. You want Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, to have sexual relations with his greatest enemy's lover, who also happens to be the same age as his son. Okay. No. No. I gotta give you credit though. Super hot take. Probably the hottest I have ever had in this series. You got some balls there, buddy. That was a good one. Alright, next up, Ninja Go J Fan says, Marvel Rivals is the greatest Marvel game ever. Now, I actually happen to play quite a bit of Rivals. I actually love that game. I am a regular Grandmaster player, though I do main Moon Knight, so a lot of people would say that I'm cheating. Either way, I would be inclined to agree with you, but no, I think the game has lost the vision. You know, it was supposed to be a celebration of the Marvel Universe, but now it's just Gooner Rivals, and all they care about are putting out like 3 Gooner skins a week. What are we doing? Like, I might actually have to stop playing the game here pretty soon. Like, every time my wife looks over to see what I'm playing, she sees Sue Storm with her ass out or Psylocke wearing a thong, and like, I can't keep doing this. When is it gonna stop? You know, they refuse to give us a classic Spider-Man suit, but sure, they're gonna give us a million Invisible Woman skins where she's half naked. Now yes, I know that a lot of these characters are drawn to look that way in the comic books, but like, this is different. They know what they're doing. Also, just a side note, at the time of this recording, Deadpool was released today in the game, and I know that the game is going to be insufferable to play, so I'm just not going to touch it for like a month and wait for everything to cool down. Alright guys, that's going to be about it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it all, I'd really appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe button, and drop in the comments down below your Marvel hot takes. They might be featured in a part 2. But yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys later.